There has been a lot that's happened over the last 2 weeks. Alexander Isak is in Spain. The fans know what's going on. The fans know that he's asked to explore any potential opportunities to depart Newcastle United this summer. So there has got to be a lot of bridges built between him, the fan base, the management, his teammates, and he, to perform at his very best, has to be happy and comfortable in himself in this situation. So whilst at the minute he's a Newcastle United player, they're back from Asia on Monday, he's got to get his head on playing for Eddie Howe and training well and being ready on Monday to be a part of that squad, regardless of what happens with any potential offer from Liverpool if a second one was to come.
Liverpool make their move, but Newcastle United reject their opening offer worth over £110 million for Alexander Isak. The Premier League champions are gearing up to go again as Newcastle brace themselves for a second bid. Big day of developments with Alexander Isak. Where do we stand right now?
Newcastle fans, Liverpool fans, and breathe. It's been one of those days, and it feels like it's been one of those days every day for the last couple of weeks or so. More developments today, and significant developments as well. Not just interest, not informal offers, not communication between the two clubs. There has been an offer rejected by Newcastle from Liverpool for the striker Alexander Isak. It was worth, we understand, 110 million plus add-ons. So it was a significant starting point for any possible negotiation between the two clubs for a player that is very highly rated. Newcastle value him at £150 million. But where do we go from now? And it feels like with everything that's happened over the course of this summer, the noises that are being made from both sides of the fence, that this is something that will rumble on and on and on. At the minute, Eddie Howe is with his squad in Asia for their pre-season tour, whereas Alexander Isak, who didn't travel to Asia with the squad, is in Spain training at Real Sociedad, one of his former clubs, with his own team. And, you know, you have to look at this situation and think this automatically feels like a saga. You look at it and you think this is all a little bit bizarre. Things aren't quite the way you'd expect them to be. I think the key situation here is that this potential deal would be a Premier League record, which gives you an indication that these things don't happen overnight. If, for example, Liverpool were to bid, just say 200 million for Isak, and Newcastle said, OK, yeah, we accept that, doesn't mean the deal gets done, because any potential deal will be subject to Newcastle United getting in what they feel is a top-class, Champions League-ready, world-class striker. That is the caveat to any potential deal should Liverpool pay what Newcastle are looking for.
Of course they want to bring in someone if Isak goes, that they might not get this money again.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, they could be looking at this financially, saying this is the kind of money we're never going to get again. However, Alexander Isak could stay at Newcastle, he could sign a new contract, he could stay, and then he's still got 3 years left as things stand. He could be there this time next year, he could have scored another 30 plus goals in the season, and his value will still be in excess of 100 million because he's been brilliant. And that's another scenario. And I think this is the most difficult thing. There is not one single person, whether it be Arne Slot, Eddie Howe, Dharmesh Sheth, Michael Bridge or Mark McAdam, that could sit here and say, this is how this is going to unfold, because no one, even the big players at the table, do not know in which direction this is going to go.
Brentford forward, Johan Wissa, he's another one. That one, you talk about Isak becoming a saga. This one is getting a bit unsavoury, isn't it? He has no intention of playing for Brentford again, is what we're being told, and he is desperate to join Newcastle United.
Liverpool's pursuit of Alexander Isak has taken a dramatic turn, with the club preparing to return with an improved offer after seeing their initial bid rejected by Newcastle United. Earlier this week, Liverpool submitted a formal offer in the region of £110 to £120 million, but Newcastle dismissed it outright, standing firm on their £150 million valuation of the Swedish striker. According to multiple reports including Sky Sports and The Guardian, the Magpies have no intention of letting their star forward go unless their asking price is met in full, despite Isak reportedly expressing a desire to explore the move. Isak's current situation has added fuel to the speculation. He has not joined Newcastle for their pre-season tour and is instead training in Spain at his former club, Real Sociedad. While Newcastle manager Eddie Howe has described the situation as complex, he stopped short of confirming whether Isak would reintegrate with the squad anytime soon. Sources close to the player suggest he is open to the Liverpool switch and may even be applying subtle pressure behind the scenes to facilitate the transfer. Initially, Liverpool were said to have no plans to submit a second bid, with several outlets reporting that the club would walk away rather than enter a prolonged standoff. However, more recent reporting from Rousing the Cop and FootballTransfers.com indicates that Liverpool are still very much interested and are actively working behind the scenes. Discussions are now reportedly centered around a new proposal that could reach £130 million plus £20 million in performance-related add-ons, bringing the total close to Newcastle's demands. This revised package has not yet been formally submitted, but Liverpool's position is believed to be conditional. Any new bid may depend on Newcastle moving closer to signing a replacement striker. Despite the posturing, both sides know that time is a factor. Liverpool are aiming to bolster their attack ahead of the new Premier League season, and Isak fits the bill perfectly. At just 24 years old, he has Premier League experience, elite technical ability, and the versatility to play across the front line. With personal terms already reportedly agreed, rumored to be a 6-year deal worth around £250,000 per week, the major hurdle remains the transfer fee. Liverpool striker Darwin Núñez appears increasingly likely to leave Anfield this summer, with Saudi Arabian giants Al Hilal stepping up their pursuit of the 25-year-old forward. Talks between Al Hilal and Núñez representatives are ongoing, and while no formal agreement has been finalized yet, both clubs are reportedly open to completing the transfer if the financial terms are right. Liverpool had previously rejected an offer from Al Hilal in the region of £70 million, but fresh reports indicate that the Reds would now be willing to sanction the sale for a figure closer to £75 to £80 million, particularly in light of Núñez's inconsistent performances and limited impact under new head coach Arne Slot. Núñez, who joined Liverpool in 2022 from Benfica for a club record fee that could rise to £85 million, has struggled to live up to expectations. Despite flashes of brilliance and moments of explosive pace and finishing, he has often been criticized for his erratic decision-making and lack of composure in front of goal. Last season, he managed just 11 goals in all competitions, and his role diminished significantly toward the end of the campaign. With Luis Diaz also recently departing and Liverpool looking to reshape their attack for the upcoming season, selling Núñez would open up both funds and squad space for a potential marquee signing such as Alexander Isak or another elite forward. For Al Hilal, signing Núñez would represent a major statement ahead of the upcoming FIFA Club World Cup, which they are eager to compete in with a strengthened squad. After failing to land Victor Osimhen, the Saudi Pro League side has made Núñez their primary attacking target and are prepared to offer a substantial salary package to tempt him. While Núñez is said to prefer staying in Europe if a suitable offer comes along, the financial appeal of Saudi Arabia, combined with the promise of a starring role at Al Hilal, is reportedly making him seriously consider the move. As it stands, the deal is progressing, and if the clubs can reach a final agreement on the fee and payment structure, Darwin Núñez could become the next high-profile player to leave the Premier League for Saudi Arabia. The coming days are expected to be decisive, with Al Hilal looking to finalize the transfer before the end of August and Liverpool eager to move forward with their summer rebuild.